Psalm 64. In this psalm, I just want to read a couple of verses and then make some comments. And it says this: But God shoots his arrows at them, and suddenly they are wounded. He will destroy them because of those words. All who see them will shake their heads. And the psalm is talking at this point about those who are people really attacking the psalmist, people who are giving him a hard time, and he's in great trouble and distress, and he's asking God to listen to his prayer, crying out to God about the cruel words that are being said and the things which have been words of attack. And he describes these words as their tongues are like swords. Describes it, as very, very vicious, very terrible and violent and awful words that have been said to him. And what he's really entrusting himself to is a God who will be able to fire back. It's so easy, isn't it, to fire back words out of anger, out of revenge, to bite back when people attack us verbally. And this psalm is really about allowing God to shoot those arrows back. And so verse 7 says, But God shoots his arrows at them, and they are suddenly they are wounded. He will destroy them because of those words. All who see them will shake their heads. And then it says, goes on to say that they will all be afraid. They will think about what God has done and tell about his deeds. It's describing a situation where it feels like the actual outcome is not in the hands of the psalmist, but it's in the hands of God. The actual way of dealing with the situation is not in the hands of the person writing the psalm, but definitely in the hands of God. And we sometimes need to allow God to defend our corner for us, and we need to trust him in how he will do that. It's very easy to respond back, and these days of social media, these days of quick responses, of banging out an email very fast, of responding rapidly because we feel under great pressure to do so, to make a comment on and so on, to see what's been written about us and to ping back with rapid fire. And it's very tempting to do that as well. But it's essential to have the attitude of this psalmist, is to allow the Lord to deal with our case and allow him to stand up for us. And, it's very clear in the Bible too about blessing those who curse. That's very much something that Jesus emphasizes. And we're allowing God to take control of the situation, allowing God to be in charge of any responses that we make. So my prayer today is that God will help us. We may sometimes struggle with this. I know that many of us, of course, do, but I pray that we would have that particular grace and strength and that concept really in our hearts and minds that we can trust our case, we can trust our words to God, and we can say, okay, Lord, you see what's been written, you see what's been said, you see what's been put against me, what verbal attacks there might be, whether it's in writing or in person, in whatever way. Lord, you know the things which feel unfair, you know the things which feel unjustly said, the things that I feel very personally, maybe I feel wounded about and I feel hurt about. And Lord, I'm just praying that you would help me in this situation right now, that you would give me grace. And where I have opportunity to talk in a healthy way, that's great. Help me to do that. But where things are said unjustly and I don't have an easy way to respond back to them, and I don't have perhaps the forum to say it, and it'd be unwise to get into some kind of dispute and spat, especially on social media these days. Well, Lord, I'm going to entrust the situation to you. I'm going to entrust the whole case to you. I'm going to look to you to be the one who fires back, and you'll speak to people. You'll get through. You'll deal with situations justly and fairly. I can entrust it to you. It's not down to me. It's in your hands, help me to let go of my own offence and to put it into the hands of a safe and loving God who knows how to deal with these things.